Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird. If that mockingbird won't sing, Papa's gonna buy you a diamond ring. If that diamond ring turns brass, Mama's gonna buy you a looking glass. If that looking glass falls down, you'll still be the sweetest little baby in town. Hush, little baby, don't you cry. Papa loves you and so do I.
Staggering news out today about the growing gap between the haves and the have-nots. The top 1% made nearly 20% of all the available income in America last year.
What Trump did very effectively is tap the angst and the anger and the hurt and the pain that millions of working class people are feeling.
This kind of gaping inequality gives lie to the promise that's at the very heart of America, that this is a place where you can make it if you try.
This is Women in Gender Studies 59, Prison Women and Performance. My name is Ivy Schweitzer. I am a professor of English. So I have to say up front, this is not the usual Dartmouth class. This class requires more time and it requires more commitment, but you get way more. It will change you. That's what students say, it changes you. I love to teach this course with Patty. She is a specialist in performance and she leads this class over at the Sullivan County House of Corrections.
The reason why I do this work, and I've always said it, it's because I'm angry. Not because I'm a good person and I'm a nice person. It's because I'm angry, socially angry. And I really like and strongly believe in bringing two groups together to create the play or the performance, which is really a social platform for reflection and for whatever is going to come out of this.
My mom has said that prisoners are just bad people, and this is what happens when you don't try hard in school. She told me, be careful. And I was like, you understand that they can't do anything, right? Because they're in prison and that they're behind the bars. And she's like, no, but they're still bad. Like, I don't know. I guess she said something along, I was like, but they can still hurt you. And I'm like, huh?
Did people get a chance to read the Buzz Alexander essay, which was for today? It's such a fantastic essay about first going into the prison and what you do there. So did people get a chance to read that?
So just to get a feel, like, have any of these women, like, murdered others?
This is a minimum to medium security facility. Your question is legitimate, and my answer is I don't know exactly, but my sense is that, no, these are pettier crimes than that. Mid-1990s, I went to a lecture given at Dartmouth by Angela Davis, who is one of my intellectual political heroes. And what she said was, all of you academics and scholars in the audience should incorporate issues about incarceration in your research and in your teaching. And I thought, okay, I'm gonna do that.
Copeland, I'm the program director, and let me just say it's a wonderful opportunity to have you here at Sullivan County. Welcome. Let's talk about how we're gonna do this. How are you gonna come into a jail 1 day a week, right? It's all about coming into our house. And when you walk across that threshold, you need to be very, very aware of where you are. It's really important that you're not sharing a lot of personal information with inmates. Sometimes the best inmate, they do everything right. But boy, you don't know them when they're out on the streets under the influence of something. So you don't share your personal lives to the point that here's my email address, here's my address, here's my mother's address. You don't share that personal information. If you think there's a chance of you losing something, don't wear it, don't bring it in. Even the pens, as I'm looking through the pens, they make really good tattoo guns. And you need to be aware of the con games, because you will be played, guarantee it. And I'm not saying this because, you're gonna go down there and meet a horrific bunch of offenders. But let's face it, it's their coping, it's their mechanism to cope. So just be aware of it.
Sit there right there. You got keys, I'm gonna take custody of those, you'll get them back, okay?
I was so nervous. It's a scary place where criminals go, and normal people like me, basically, aren't supposed to be going to prison, aren't supposed to be stepping foot in it ever.
My favorite time is period. It's the first day when they're together.
I'm Georgia.
Josh.
Charlotte.
Heather.
Putting privileged and underprivileged together, and the willingness to collaborate together, that's the beauty.
Hi, I'm Georgia. I'm from New Jersey, and I love kittens. I have a billion of them at home. And I hate sleeping in a room with people who are snoring.
My name's Heather West. I was born in California, now I live in New Hampshire. And I love my children, and I hate the pain inside me.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to the next. What you want to do is you're going to choose a sport. If I'm playing volleyball, right? And then go for it.
Defending my goalie.
I like this organic theater process that we have. I started doing theater when I was at the university in Santiago, and I wanted to leave Chile because of the dictatorship. I was very lucky to join the Bread and Puppet in '84. I've been working with inmates for 10 years, and I started teaching at Dartmouth with Ivy 4 years ago. When we got the students involved, the program got significantly better because there is a much more real social challenge for the inmates. So what you're going to do now is to write a list of words. Words to me are really interesting, provocative, and important. So we do some writing exercises, 4 positive words and 4 negative, and those are your branches. And then we talk about it. So those are themes that people eventually develop into the final performance.
One of my words was inequality, and I just hadn't thought about inequality that much before this class.
Can't you just like put a down payment on a house for what you pay to go there a year, huh? Like, how do you pay? Financial aid or scholarships, grants?
A lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff. Like, I think like the percentages. I think like 60 or 70
on campus to like pay for their.
A lot of people work on campus. Okay, are we ready? Yeah, I'm ready.
It made me feel really awkward because Allie and I both aren't on financial aid. I felt like maybe I would be judged. And so then I definitely stopped trusting her after that.
I hated her. I absolutely hated her from the minute I saw her. She's like what you think the Dartmouth girl is gonna look like. She's beautiful, she's blonde, she has pretty teeth, she had her beautiful pearl earrings, and I felt like, how dare she wear those here? My mom always had pearls, and I've been waiting a long time for them, so pearls are very prestigious to me. My mother, she's always held a special place in my heart. And I feel like I've let her down. My dad, he's been clean for 18 years, but he was a heroin addict for 35 years. My mother grew up abused, and she was just a torn, tattered person. But she always did right by me. She marched on Washington with Martin Luther King, and she took pride in the fact that I was half black, and she made me always feel like even though she was white, she was gonna teach me all the black history I could learn and to be proud of it. You know, New Hampshire didn't used to recognize Martin Luther King's birthday as a legal holiday. I was a junior, and my mother says one day, it's time, we have to change that. So we're gonna send these petitions to every high school in the state of New Hampshire. Next thing you know, everybody's sending these petitions back. So she said, on Martin Luther King's birthday, we're gonna march to the State House and we're gonna present these petitions.
Teenagers marched in freezing temperatures to the State House. They say they want to make equality more than a dream.
Black and white together.
And we had kids from private schools, we had rich kids, we had poor kids. It was like the most amazing thing I'd ever seen.
They sing for civil rights, and they say they lobby for permanent legislation here.
Next thing we know, Martin Luther King, it's called Civil Rights Day. It's not Martin Luther King's birthday, but we'll take it, is now a legal holiday and people don't go to school, which was that's the kind of person my mom was. My mom passed away 11 years ago from cancer. I think that was probably the biggest breaking point in my life. I dabbled in drugs and crime, but ever since then, I think that's pretty much been my demise.
Today, I just wanted to start out with giving people time to just do some reflections about what they thought about Thursday's meeting.
I was really nervous when we were doing the things that I like and things that I don't like, because I just didn't want to say anything that could have been offensive or made me seem like I had a step up on them in any way.
I think Georgia feels nervous about where she's coming from. I think she's coming from a sheltered world, from probably a suburban world. I think she's privileged. I don't think she's been asked to question her privilege at all.
I'm from Summit, New Jersey. It's a small town, and grew up in a little neighborhood. Everyone in the neighborhood was mine and my sister's age. My mom and dad were best friends with all of the grown-ups there, and so it was just like the ideal, quintessential neighborhood. That's what I loved.
I think one of the ultimate questions we have to ask ourselves in terms of this class and what we're going to be doing at the facility is, what group are we in? Are we the oppressors or are we the oppressed?
I lean toward the Republican Party, and I voted Republican and conservative.
We have the oppressors over here, and then we have the oppressed over here.
So this is challenging my beliefs, making me think about what it means to be oppressed, about who I am as a person.
Students don't get into Dartmouth because they can't think. They really know how to think. So the question is, can we motivate her to really take the theory and apply it?
Okay, let's go. You never know what's going to happen and what's not going to happen, which I love. That's the hook. But it's really sad to deal with all these lives in crisis. That's it. Now, I want a volunteer who's going to be leading what I've been doing. Here we go. Don't worry. Nice. Go, Nikki. Don't play when we're working on somebody because it's.
I was practicing myself. So everybody else.
No, but that's nobody should. I mean, and then everybody's doing their own practice, and then we can't focus on one thing. It's not personal, girl. Okay. Let's do it all together.
Okay, ready?
Heather, she's such a character. She makes her presence known.
How did you guys like going through the metal detector and all that? My daughter loves it. She's crown princess every time with that little wand. She's 3. I'm a princess now, Mom.
What is it? What did you say?
My meds are all messed up. So
When I first heard that Heather was no longer in the facility because she was using drugs again, my first thought was, what? Like, how did she even get those drugs, you know? Then I was angry. I was so mad at her because I'm never gonna see her again.
What kind of stand?
I felt as though I really wanted to get to know her better, and I just wanted to get to know her daughter better, and I wanted to see a picture of her daughter, and now I'll never know, and that was, what a shame, and that's how I felt. So welcome to Dartmouth again. Dartmouth was founded in 1769 by Alistair Wheelock. We actually got the charter all the way back in England from Earl of Dartmouth. Being a Dartmouth student has become such a huge identity for me. We are the it girls, we're the it boys, you know, we have everything. You are strongly, strongly, strongly encouraged to have a laptop. You could Personally, for me, I think me getting into Dartmouth was through merit. My parents aren't rich. I'm originally from Burma. My family and I moved here 6 years ago. I lived in a very small apartment. I shared a room with my brothers and my parents. And I think that's when my father started to deal with depression. It was really hard to see my dad, because he was a really good dad, just deteriorate. Like, his body's still there, but he doesn't have this life anymore in him. And it was just hard to see that. And it was hard to see my mom, like, blaming him because she felt like she had 4 kids, not 3. For me, the hardest part, I think, is to have the roles of parent and child reversed, and sometimes have to feel as though you kind of have to be the second mom. Because my mom would leave home at 6 in the morning, and she won't get back until like 8:39 because of the commute and everything. So sometimes I get frustrated with being here because a lot of the people that I interact with haven't really gone through my experiences. In a way, it's condescending for me to say, oh, well, they haven't seen it all, you know, but I mean, I haven't seen it all. And going to the prison, I have realized that, wow, I have a lot more to learn, and it's really, really humbling.
How do you guys feel about Heather leaving?
I'm very happy.
Really glad.
She tries to like say how like she's staying sober for her kids, like making everything like how she has such a sober life and she's sitting there high. And me being only like, when she was here, it was only like 16 days sober. Seeing her like really high in front of me. She was high in the prison? She was high in one of our classes.
We saw a lot of tragedy last week, quite a few of the women suffering, knowing that it was there, it was available, and who don't want to use.
How many of you is an addict here? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so most of you.
I mean, that was so hard. I'm sitting there like, are you serious? You know, like part of me is like, I want to be doing that, and the other part of me is like, no, I don't want to be doing that.
Charlotte, that's a big test.
It's awful.
Because those are the tests that are going to happen on the outside.
I must have changed a little bit because when she came in with all that stuff, you know, I didn't use it, you know, so that's something I've never said no to anything in my life, ever. I've never said no. I was born in Rhode Island, and I was adopted by my grandparents. They were members of the yacht club. But my grandfather was an alcoholic, and he was very mean and abusive. He took a baseball bat and broke my foot with it, you know, and obviously I had to go and get a cast. You know, you hear the hushed talking between the nurses, and you see the looks from the doctor, and you're terrified to say anything because you still have to go home. It was scary for me, and I think, you know, the alternative of living on the streets and taking care of myself was better. I ran away from home when I was about 11 and ended up living on the streets in parks or crack houses or, you know, wherever I could just find a place to stay for the night. But it wasn't until I got into an abusive relationship that I became a full-on drug addict. You know, once you start shooting heroin, everything falls apart. The police finally caught me. They were banging on the door with the search warrant. Before I opened the door, I shot my last 3 bags of heroin and 2 bags of coke, all in one shot, just hoping that by the time they made it to the room, I would be dead. I was on a mission to overdose and get this life over with. And I was terrified of detoxing. When you are like withdrawing from any opiate addiction, your whole body hurts. Every hair feels like it's stabbing you. Every muscle aches. Your legs and your arms spasm and twitch. You feel like you're dying, like you're not gonna make it.
Ladies, officer on the tier. It's time to get up for your program. Let's go. Program. Oh, it's over. Time for your program. Time for your program. You need to get up.
I'm gonna stay and sleep.
No, you're not.
Oh, no, I'm not. It's a nice thought, though.
Come on, get up and brush your teeth.
Yeah.
This facility is actually a male facility. There are only 10 to 14 women and there are over 100 men. But they keep them really separate. The problem is that it's so little what they get because the whole focus is the men. So this program is the only chance for the women to get out of the units where they live. Ready, go.
Excellent. Okay.
It's hard to describe my emotions. I'm definitely taking it in, but it's really just difficult to think about. Every day, I feel like my head is going to explode.
Today, I want you to make a list of 10 questions. Those could be from something absolutely superficial, light, funny, to something profound, meaningful, just the whole spectrum.
block myself from crying when I need to.
Why are we so hard to understand?
What happens to us when we die?
A series of questions. How big is the universe and how is it created? Is there a beginning or an end?
Why does life have to be so hard?
What's going to happen when I leave?
Will I stay sober?
Why did my kids have to pay for what I do?
How'd I end up like this?
Why is my oldest sister so judgmental?
Do people always have to categorize others? Could I do this differently?
What's gonna happen to my things?
Did you vote for Obama?
It's challenging, but my favorite times are when we split up into little groups. They're supposed to be doing different activities, but we would always just be like talking about our lives. We just had the best conversations.
I know I've learned a lot of things from like going to visit my family like in jail and like having them come out and tell me their prison stories and like yeah, like my uncle like used to tell me about like his prison stories. He showed me how to make like a jailhouse gun tattoo thing and like he showed me how to make a lighter.
This is not what I expected, but I really like Nikki.
She's a good party girl.
No, I'm not. One party? When we get our probation?
Yeah. Often that's a long
I'm
time.
each in 3 years.
Yeah.
Seriously, like we're gonna keep in touch. Would you guys like to keep in touch with us? With us jailbirds? And be like, hey yo, Dartmouth. This is our girls from the Slammer, SCDOC.
I did feel a little uncomfortable. We're getting into a car and going back to Dartmouth, and I'm talking with one of my friends about going out later tonight like it's the most important thing in the world. This is my first sorority event where I've brought a boy. And we've had like 20 million things. Should I tell him what we're being or should I just tell him what to bring?
Tell him what you're being.
I don't think I can get my hair up to that.
We were just fine, chasing a good time. We were just fast friends, seeking a Hollywood and
After meeting the woman in the jail, I have a hard time accepting the fact that I'm here for sophomore summer and it's like the best time of your life, apparently. It's just crazy to think that these women are having the worst times of their life right now. People here do illegal drugs, and why is it fair that they're just locked up like that?
3 Dartmouth students face cocaine and witness tampering charges. Police say it's likely more members will face criminal charges. Dartmouth College.
A 4th Dartmouth student faces charges in connection with a cocaine bust. Hanover police last week arrested 3 brothers at Sigma Alpha Epsilon after reports that cocaine was being used in a common room.
The whole campus was absolutely buzzing about it. But at the same time, everyone was like, obviously nothing's going to happen. And obviously nothing did happen.
It was just in the paper how the Dartmouth students with like the cocaine just like got off. And
that was very disturbing. Actually, for the Dartmouth students, the judge took the word cocaine out of the sentence.
Yeah.
So that
it's going to be taken off their records.
and it's going to be taken off their records, and it was reduced from felony to a misdemeanor. It's like a parking ticket.
Yeah.
Well, here we are dealing with the justice system, and it doesn't seem very just.
Yeah.
Georgia said that we're in jail for some of the things that all her people do.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what
what Allie said too, that there was a boy caught on campus with, I guess, a bunch of cocaine, but because, of course, he's a Dartmouth College student, he got community service.
That's horrible because, you know, my friend Malika got caught with cocaine and is sitting here for a year.
Hello.
That's not right.
Sometimes I get really mad at myself. Did they really have all the evidence that they said they had? What if I would have taken it to trial? Maybe I could have been found not guilty. But I had no bail, so I'd be sitting in jail. You could wait for your trial for years. Who wants to wait for a trial for years when you could plead guilty and be out maybe a year before then? I can guarantee you 99% of the people that are in this jail aren't in here because they were found guilty, but because they pled guilty. No money, no privilege, you're going to jail.
You know, some of it, I think, is because they see potential in these Dartmouth students, and they think they're going to be our next politicians or scientists, and they won't be able to be as productive in society with something bad like that on their record.
You want bread?
When somebody who's just a single mom who works as a waitress every day, if they've got a felony possession of cocaine, who cares? You know, I mean, we might get angry about it, but maybe society is okay with it. Maybe they are like, yeah, well, this person just made a mistake, but they're doing something with their lives. You know, this person just works at Burger King, so they're not really doing anything with their life. Who cares what happens to them? We're replaceable, maybe.
This is when they were on the farm. When I first came to jail, they had to stay in a foster home. They lived on a farm, and Maya hated it, and Jay Sean liked it. I don't know how I made such a perfect human being. She can't be dishonest. She's my hero, seriously. Like, I always wanted to be like my mother, and now I want to be Maya. Jay Sean is a 10-year-old child, and I feel bad sometimes because he's ADHD, and they're still trying to diagnose him. He just has a lot of issues.
Want to see my daughter? Show a picture of my daughter. It's my daughter.
I really just want to get out of here and go home and try to have a life with my daughter. She'll be 15 in September. I feel bad because I put her in some really, bad situations as a, there were times where I'd be dope sick and she'd be the one holding my hair out of the toilet while I was puking, So she knows, what drugs can do to a person. And sometimes I feel really shameful that she had to go through that. And other times I think that because she went through that with me, she's now terrified to use drugs. She's a great student. I'm really, really lucky.
Very proud.
Prisoners of the war on drugs. Men are still the vast majority of prisoners. The number of women is growing much faster.
Isn't that crazy? The parents go to jail. Here's the children have fewer caregivers. Their remaining parent struggles to support them. It's easier to fail in school and get in trouble. I think that's true. And I worry about that about Jay Sean too. Like, I see him here over and over and over and over and over again. And I see me like here visiting him. And I feel like I never gave him the opportunity to do or know any better. I think a lot of people are set up for failure even before they're even out of the womb.
So what we need to do now is this. Basically, we need to get to the tree, the group tree, right? I'm going to ask you to read your words.
Sobriety, dishonesty, faith, discontent, hope, and rage.
Honesty.
It's always a big challenge for them to choose words in the group tree.
And neglect shows that too.
That's isolation. That could be loneliness or boredom.
Oh, I like that.
Isolation instead of
I like isolation. I like the word.
Judgment, betrayal, fear, isolation. How do you guys feel about that?
Yeah.
We are going into a different phase now. Next week, we're going to start the rehearsals. Okay, listen to me. We're going to have one corner for each word, right? Betrayal. So let's have it on that corner, please. Who wants to go there? Go to that corner. And judgment. Go to that corner, please. You have 4 groups. You're gonna work on 4 skits. You're gonna sketch out these skits. These skits are gonna be the skits you're gonna present eventually. They're gonna gonna be the show. So once you commit to this group, this is the skit you're working on.
How are we gonna portray the betrayal?
So I'm basically thinking I want to start it off with like her getting pulled over and getting in trouble, and then I wanted like a scene like where the police are interrogating her, and they're like, if you tell.
Somebody wore a wire on me, but I'm not here because somebody wore a wire on me. I'm here because I sold drugs to somebody who wore a wire.
I hate facing my kids every time I see them, but I don't lie. Like, I'm a drug dealer, and don't sell drugs because this is what's gonna happen to you. And don't do drugs because 9 times out of 10 you're gonna have to sell drugs to get there.
You see it all the time, like Lindsay Lohan just got like a DUI and she like walked away.
She originally was sentenced to 3 months and a couple months in rehab and then 2 years of probation, and now they brought it down to 2 weeks. Yeah.
So we could make it like really outrageous, like the celebrity gets 6 days and the regular Joe gets 16 years.
Okay, so like for isolation, we're also thinking it doesn't necessarily start out as all your fault, you know, like it could be like the mom and dad favors like your sister better, and then, you know what I mean, and then they just.
Amy used to be very disengaged, not paying attention to us, like not listening to what we were saying.
Like then it's like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Yeah. Is that right? Okay, and then
We don't know how to get through it. Because she would just be sitting there and she's like, I don't care, and we felt bad.
We're having dinner. For the lack of props, but hey, honey, how was school?
I don't really want to talk about it.
You're not eating your vegetables. Is everything okay?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Are your friends bullying you in school?
I don't want to talk about it.
I wasn't comfortable having much to say. You know, it was okay if I didn't have to speak. I'm not generally comfortable telling anybody anything about myself. You just lack of trust.
Amy, to me, was a wounded bird. Just don't touch me, nothing. Just don't. She didn't trust anything.
Jail is really hard for me. And Jay Sean's probably my hardest pill to swallow. Like, he's hurt, he's angry. My first husband eventually took custody, but he just can't handle him. I've always been the only one that can deal with him, and I knew that, so I'm really mad at myself for not being there for him now. I want what's best for Jay Sean, and I'm very worried about him. I've been trying to figure out any angle, but there's nobody here. I don't have any family. There's nobody here. And I can't just let him come back here, because I've heard he just walked in the streets, and on the 4th of July, I guess he was at the fireworks by himself, and he seen one of my friends asking him for money and stuff. And I just feel like if I put him in a residential treatment, then he's just gonna be, he's so angry with me right now. If I don't know what to do. I can't have housing, which is probably one of the hardest things to deal with, considering I'm a single mom with 2 kids. Jobs are very limited in this area, and then I don't have a license and I can't drive, and if I drive, I've already gone to jail for driving last year for a year, so how do I get to work?
I don't know how to explain it. You can't just be like, okay, I'm ready to not do drugs and to be a better person, and then be put in a homeless shelter where there's more drugs there than there would be someplace else.
For us, our lives are pretty good, but then If you go to White River Junction, which is just down the road, things are not good. People don't really have enough to eat. And they steal in order to buy food and diapers for their children. I mean, that's why they're there.
I find myself laying in bed at night thinking how I can get an ounce of cocaine when I get out, because that's the only thing I see to do. So I think of ways I can do it to get away with it this time.
Once you're in the criminal justice system, getting out of it is a lot like rock climbing, with no spikes, no ropes, maybe in flip-flops, no training, nobody to coach you, and no idea where the top is.
But I want to do something about it, and I don't know how.
As we started going more often and as we got closer to the women, they just felt more comfortable challenging the things that we were saying and challenging the whole structure of the program and the class. And Patty herself, I think as they got closer to Patty, they were more comfortable challenging her.
But speak.
When I'm doing the skit, it's all about us. Why is it all about us? What are they doing here? Are we like an experiment? Let's go to the jail and see what's going on. Why is the skit about crime in this jail? I mean, that's not what real life is outside. It's not just inside, it's outside.
I totally agree. You said it's together. It's a process of togetherness, and it doesn't, at this point, it doesn't feel that way anymore either. And that's why I don't feel welcome anymore. This is like the part of the week I look forward to not being an inmate. And I feel more and more like an inmate when I come.
The idea is that you have much less chance to have a voice than people from the outside. It's as simple as that.
We're not just here to listen to your stories. Of course, we're here to share them too, but I think that it's not because we don't want to share them, it's just because at Dartmouth, you don't show that you're struggling. Like, we don't say like, oh my gosh, like I'm dying with this class is so hard, and like I feel so like a failure because like everyone's getting A's and I don't know how to like get it, and even like a B, you know? So it's really hard to be vulnerable, and I think that's probably the underlying reason of a lot of us not sharing our stories.
I don't want to see a Dartmouth student. I want to see a human being. I'm not an inmate. I'm a person and I have a life besides this. And I want to know you guys like that too.
I think it's just really hard to like be like, yeah, my dad's depressed and like he's probably gonna be on meds forever, and like that worries me. But like every day that you are on Hanover campus, you don't say that. You say, well, I have this meeting to go to, and then I'm meeting my professor, and I'm writing this paper on top of all the 10 million extracurricular things that we're doing.
I could never imagine going to school and doing all of those things. I don't even know how to save money. I could imagine the pressure from them. So who's to say whose pain is greater?
I've really grown to respect Malika, and she's funny and she makes people laugh and she makes people smile, and I really like that she kind of questioned the authority and she tested people's limits, and I don't really know that many people who do that. Even though she's in a position where obviously she has no agency or power, and she somehow managed to be one of the most powerful people that I've ever met.
You're courageous women. You're way beyond anything. And don't forget that.
I feel like you saved me from, I don't know what, but you just saved me. You make me want to be a better person.
This is a very exciting time right now because we are getting ready to open up a community corrections center. It's a 72-bed facility and a brand new program.
I'm packing up all my luggage. I know.
You know, when you move from one house to another one, it's just big mess. So I think emotionally, it's very, very hard.
And that's it. Now I'm packed. All my pictures are away.
All right, on 3. 1, 2.
have 32 inmates today that are sentenced to the program and we're ready to go. We have 13 inmates coming in on Sunday.
That's the most exercise I had for 5 months. Take you down to your new home. Right down here to your Christmas.
Like Christmas, not so much.
Castillo will give you your room.
We got a table. You got a lot of stuff. Where's this all going to go?
You broke it already. Oh, it's broken. It won't turn off. Okay, you can't turn it off. It just keeps spinning. But if you try to push it back,
Oh my God! One of the showers won't shut off.
First of all, ladies, I just want to welcome you all here. The program, it's a real holistic approach. It's life skills, it's parenting, it's substance abuse, it's cognitive problem solving, it's wellness classes. You are breaking ground. This is the first time in history of Sullivan County to do something like this. So, you're leading the way.
They say they're gonna help you, we'll see. I think it's just a prettier building with comfier beds.
I haven't been sentenced, so you have this like rehabilitation and like not everybody gets to go.
So in the case of Nikki, she was being held for lack of cash bail, but she was not allowed to be in the treatment unit because those are the rules. In order to be there, you had to have been sentenced. And she wasn't sentenced, she wasn't even convicted.
Yeah, I'd definitely be out on bail if I had money.
This always blows the students' minds that people can be held in prison without being sentenced.
It's so crazy that people like Nikki are just waiting around for their court date. She's not gonna have a court date until April next year.
I'm feeling really left out.
So it broke my heart when she was like, I'm just wasting my life away here.
Ready? Do we start with this one?
In my skit, there was like, you know, like a guy that has to sell drugs to make ends meet, and Lindsay's just a rich person.
This is the police, and you are coming with me, Lindsay.
No, I'm not.
That's the audience.
No, I'm like trying to go to a party.
Yes, with all this cocaine. Yeah, you're going with
No, I'm not.
And it shows how famous people get off more than us regular, normal, whatever you want to call us.
So paid attorney, have lots of money. What would you like to say in this matter?
Oh, our dear Lindsay here, she hit a rough patch, but she really has the support and means to get through it, I think, and she's gonna do better next time, right?
Absolutely.
Can I get your autograph?
Call me after.
So we kind of made a little joke about it. But I just do think that rich people get off easier than people without money.
Open up, it's the police! Open up!
You're from back there. You're back there.
Oh, and back there?
Yeah, because you're backstage, right?
I was the policeman arresting Joe Schmo.
Open up, it's the police!
I feel really bonded with Kim and Nikki because they were in my skit with me, and we just had like the best conversations. They were really open and honest with us, and so Rachel and I were like, well, we have to reciprocate this, and so we all got to know each other really well.
Georgia. I thought that like she was gonna be a lot like more goody, but like once we started talking, I was like, whoa, she's more like me than I thought.
I could really relate so much to Nikki, but Nikki and Kim, they've had a lot of traumatic experiences in their lives. Nikki's lost her mother. She's been dating guys who are 20 years older than her since she was like 15. And it makes me wonder if I was born Nikki, I would be in jail.
Amy, I know you're not so much into the isolation skit.
It's all scenarios that are not anything related to me.
So you're gonna go to your group and take it further. And you're gonna go as far as you can and as far as you want. But to me, it's essential that it is about your voice.
I am not emotionally stable enough to get up there and do something like that, okay? That's what it boils down to.
Do what?
Something too personal. I can't. Every man I've been with since I was young just kind of did, you know, just they were nasty people. I'm just gonna put it that way. Missing 16 teeth out of my mouth because of one of them. My teeth are still broken in the front.
It's so common. It's so common.
I got pregnant for my daughter, Connie. And when I was pregnant for her, he used to punch me in the stomach.
Drove me to the pizza parlor. He orders this food, makes me go, and he's beating the shit out of me in this restaurant.
When I was
That's why I don't.
16, I was raped by a coworker. The state gave me the choice to go live with my biological mother. I did my first line of cocaine with her, and her husband raped me.
The level of abuse in this, physical abuse in this country, it's outrageous. It's very connected with shamefulness and silence. That's why I strongly believe in education and in voice.
I work with two, like, innocent young girls. They don't need to know those kind of things, like, that you want me to tell them about.
Do you think they don't know?
I don't think they've experienced it, and I don't think they need to.
That's the whole point. They need to experience.
Why? So they can be bitter?
So they can not be bitter anymore.
Exactly.
So they can actually have empathy for the people on the other side. I'm tired of people thinking, having that stigma that drug addicts isolate sheerly because they want to, not because you're depressed, or this has happened to you, or that's happened to you. I'm damaged. I didn't have what I needed growing up. I didn't have all of us are damaged. All of us.
Emotions are really intense, especially feelings of sadness, and for me at least, like guilt.
It's so draining because the worlds are so different. And going to the prison is quite an adaptation to make.
I have no idea what's going to happen with it. I'm still... She wanted me to get more personal with it, and I don't want to at all. No, I'm not ready for that. Like, I still have a lot of stuff going on, you know, inside me that I'm not ready to delve into any of that, like, out there, being, like, sexually abused by somebody, and then, like, an abusive adult relationship, and that's all the things that did it for me. Made me build my walls. She said it's really personal for me because that's me all the way. I've got walls up all around me, and, you know, like bottom, top, I'm closed in.
I think that was the moment. Our skit transformed, and all of a sudden this like idea materialized about having walls closing in on you.
Used to be the kids, and the first wall would fall here.
And the audience is right here, right?
Right. The second wall is going to be
like here.
a pillar. Yeah.
And so there's a lie or something, and the wall comes down.
Excuse me, please, silence, because we don't have much time. Let's explain this very, very fast.
Yeah, we need action.
We need kids.
We need kids.
So on one side, okay, there's the kids, and they're picking on me, and then comes the wall on this side. And then I turn, and there's the uncle.
And then the mom
And then
is
I
like,
turn another way, and there's the mean old man, and then I turn this way, and I have to read my poem, and the last wall drops.
It was very interesting to see how much she opened up. But at the same time, it's also heartbreaking because it must be really, really hard for her to kind of relive all the abuse and hardships that she went through.
The things that I said are things that I've never even, I don't even think I ever spoke them out loud before then. The basic concepts behind, like, okay, how do we change that?
She just opened up so much to us, and for the first time in my entire life has made me realize that I am privileged. And it's so weird because I always felt as though I am not the privileged one in my circle of friends or Dartmouth. But as Ivy League students, I think we need to adjust our egos a little bit because we are so damn lucky.
they got an ex parte order, and they're on their way there to pick him up right now. And they have full custody of him now. He's going to flip out, man. I just picture his little face in the backseat of the car. I'm mad at myself, man.
So painful for Malika. So painful.
I don't even know who he's staying with.
It was the ultimate experience of powerlessness.
When Jayshawn was taken into state's custody, Malika was certain that she was not going to get her child back, and she began to really decompensate.
Why should I have to conform? I hate this whole conformance.
It's not about conforming, it's that we
I'm not doing it. You guys find somebody else to do it. I'm not
Malika,
doing it. I'm not doing it.
Well, this is like the 5th time. Every single day I go, I'm not doing it, I'm not doing it.
She was taking this on as a personal failure. It was jeopardizing her treatment, her sobriety, and her ability to function successfully.
After Jayshawn, working with Malika, it's exhausting. It's an exhausting process.
Okay, so who's your district attorney? I don't know. I think that Amy's asking because I believe she'd like to be Mark Hemingway. Oh,
Hemingway.
That would be great.
Hey guys, can I say something? Don't do anything personal. You make it personal and it loses power.
Yes, but I'm still saying Detective Fig Newton.
This is not a place for you to get back at anyone.
Getting back at anyone.
But you're making it personal. But you're making it personal. Do you recognize that you're making it personal?
It's personal to me, and it's been personal the whole time, and I'm not changing the way that I feel about it. That's why I chose the word betrayal. They can do what they want to do, and now we supposedly have a voice, and now you want me to shut up.
So, can we keep the name or not? I'm not making it that.
I don't even know who you're talking about or what I'm saying.
You're handling it completely different than I am. It's 8 months to me is an eternity. I've lost everything, literally everything.
Well,
so to you it's nothing, but to me it's everything.
But my point is, Malika, I don't want to be used in order for you to
Why? You're using me. You're using me.
Malika.
All of a sudden, you're being used?
No,
you have some nerve.
Can I finish?
You have some nerve. That's
so
not
then
what I'm
don't
saying.
do it. Don't do it. Because that's not my intention. I don't come here every day to exploit you.
I didn't join this to be judged on everything that I do either.
It's a little tiring, this whole back and forth with either you trust and either you go into the whole thing, or what are we doing?
All right. Don't be tired anymore.
I can't be tired just the way you are tired, Malika.
Let's just go on with what we're doing. Accept what we've done wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm just gonna say. Okay, I accepted the day that I got arrested.
You're not being
I
victimized
did
because it
the
happened.
crime that I did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing the time that fits the crime. It's not Mark Hathaway's fault or Detective Newton's fault that I'm sitting here. It's my fault.
I'm the first one to say I've taken full responsibility for what I've done. And that's not what I'm trying to, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying.
I don't understand how anybody would think you aren't. I mean,
Yeah, I didn't understand that either. It was said right after you walked out.
Who said it?
Amy, probably Kim.
Kim.
We're going to the gym.
No, I may understand that.
What?
Can they go down there and talk to you for a minute?
Can we
go down to the gym?
So
I don't know if they're gonna let you. What's happening, Malika?
I don't think that it's fair that the second I have an opinion on something, they can all go down there and talk about me, talking about I haven't owned up to what I've done. I mean, the first one to admit what I did was wrong.
Sit down.
Fucking flipped out.
I'm here the whole day, you know that, right? Yeah. I'll see you very soon, okay?
Yeah.
What helps us understand how these women got to where they got to. Because I think that's the real question we have to ask is not what did they do, but how, what about the context of their lives landed them in that place. We can have a long debate about whether we hold them personally responsible. Right? That's been the kind of social discourse in this country. People are personally responsible for where they are. Because the other analysis looks like socialism or communism when we start to talk about, but wait, maybe there are forces out there that we're a part of that we can't see that really create conditions under which people cannot succeed. And the dirty little secret is that the US incarcerates more people, many, many, many more people than any other country in the world. More women and more men. And many children are endangered.
The justice system is completely corrupt, but I also feel like it's my fault and I have to deal with it, and I'm willing to do or learn anything I have to be a better mother when it comes to Jay Sean because he has so many special needs.
She immersed herself in programming, and any certificate she could get, anything she could earn, anything extra she could do, she wanted to amass that evidence and leave a paper trail with the state, because I said, look, you got to build a case. If you want your family intact, the onus is on you to prove that you're worthy of it.
It's not what I would have chosen, but it's definitely what I needed, and I have changed. Patty made me want to be a better person for my children and for me. Even though there were times when Patty would piss me off, she changed my life in a lot of ways. She just made me see myself different than I had seen myself.
This is inspiring. It's good for you to read it and then, right? Some things can spark. I think she's really brilliant, and it's really hard not to have a voice when you have so much to offer.
She made me feel like it doesn't matter if you're a felon. I could do a job like Patty has, or I can go places and speak to people, and I never felt like that before.
If you don't draw some on this cardboard right now, I'm be laying on this cold floor. It better not be little either. Where are you? You better not ruin it.
Before the performance, there's a lot of excitement. We build the talking wall, and I bring costumes and the wigs. We're happy, we're ready, we're excited, we're proud. So then comes the students, and then they have to rehearse. This is gonna be a roller coaster, like from beginning to end, right? Let me see, I need to have just the dancers. Drummers go over there, dancers come here. Let me just see who I have. So the stage is gonna be probably to here. Let's say that the stage is to here. Pam, what side are you? Which one was the side that you felt comfortable with? Here we go. Shh, quiet, and please just keep the flow, and it'll happen. Here I go. Hold hands. Everybody hold hands. Ready? Up. Go. That's it. And then that's it.
Isn't it so cool? Yeah, isn't it so? Did you guys see this one? Did you guys see this? But my new friends wear green D's.
So ladies,
Yes, ma'am.
The word is out that all of you want to be seen, and we've got a lot of people coming tonight, which means we're gonna relocate the performance.
Where?
Outside.
I was hoping that's what you were gonna say.
Now there's one other little thing that I have to tell you. If you're gonna be outside, you gotta look good.
Yes. So we need makeup.
Please don't put too much.
All I like is mascara, because otherwise it's like, I'm not trying to look trampy.
Oh, you look so pretty.
Adorable.
I feel so much better.
It does make you feel better, Mom.
Yeah.
Okay, in 5 minutes we're gonna be moving the boxes. So let's get on the shoes and we're gonna make it happen.
We have less than 2 hours. We need to build a whole structure, okay? We can do it, even with all this craziness. Let's go for it.
I was like, this is gonna be a disaster.
I did not think it was going to turn out well. Like, it was so chaotic.
I've never felt that feeling where it's like 25 people and there's just so much potential to do anything.
You too, honey.
Thank you. Listen to me. This is it. Now, I want to ask you just one thing. Just enjoy it. Don't be, this is yours. This is the work you've been doing. I want you to really breathe it out. There is integrity, there is depth. It's been a privilege to work with every single one of you. Have a great show.
I think this gets at the basic values we have as a society. How do we treat people who make mistakes and make bad decisions? Prisons could become educational institutions because education is the strongest hedge against crime and poverty. Send them back into the communities a better person than they left. That would be the ideal prison.
I know all of your parents. You are going.
What are you doing? You're ruining my party!
You are under arrest.
No, do not touch me. I will have your job.
Your mother is waiting for you down at the station.
If you break my nails, I just got them done.
I didn't realize how close we were to the women until we performed the shows. Most of them are in there for drugs and for nonviolent crimes. It's like, why not help these people? Why are we throwing them away?
Open up, it's the police! Window! Open up! Coming in! You're under arrest for the possession of cocaine, Joe Schmo.
This class has made me truly reconsider who I am as a person and what I believe is wrong with society. And it has been the most confusing experience of my life.
I have had to ask myself over and over, am I a selfish person? And not so surprisingly, I have found that the answer is yes.
Broken, hurt, low, down, and out, lost. Those are words that would have described me a few months ago. Strong, humble, willing, able, happy, bright, and ready for anything. That's who I am right now.
Guilty, 3 to 7. Next on the docket, State versus Lindsay Lopan, possession of cocaine, second offense.
Well, I'm gonna give you a $1,000 fine, suspended on 2 days good behavior, and just give me your autograph. Please approach the bench. My time here is coming to an end, and it will be bittersweet. I'm happy to go home to new life that awaits me, but so sad to leave all that I have loved behind. Thank you so much for all those that have been here for me and never given up on me.
The most meaningful part really has nothing to do with the show. I think it had to do more with being there for each other. A lot of people in the world that wouldn't do the things that Patty has done for us. And the things that we got to know about ourselves and that she forced us to know about ourselves and forced us to express, that was more important to me than the rest of it.
I have been a mother who has lost. I have been an addict who has overcome. I have been a wife and then not. I have been a daughter who has betrayed. I have been closer to a needle than to a human being. I have been in pain and then denial. I have woken up in jail and not remembered how I got there. I have survived the most awful of traumas. I have cried until there was nothing left inside. I have spent so much time wondering why.
I really had no idea how any of this was going to change me or help society.
Free!
I really didn't think that anything I had to say would change anything, but I was definitely wrong. I mean, if enough people get together and, you know, use their voice, things can change. I hope. I'm hopeful. I was never hopeful. Now I'm a little bit hopeful.
They all had their costumes on. I didn't know a Dartmouth student from an inmate. You guys, you're all the same. You're all the same.
That was the point. Thank you. Thank you. Let's do it.
This is the spark. Keep your discipline. Stay where you are now. Things move very fast, and ignorance it prevails so much. Fight it.
Just go.
Give me a hug.
Just go.
I can't do it.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you, Patty.
I'll see you soon. There isn't a word goodbye. It's always see you again.
No, you don't. We're gonna keep you forever.
Be well. And I'll see you soon. You know my address, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Go, 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 go.
Thanks for everything, guys. Love you.
Bye, Patty.
Thank you.
Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird. If that mockingbird won't sing, Papa's gonna buy you a diamond ring. If that diamond ring turns brass, Mama's gonna buy you a looking glass. If that looking glass falls down, you'll still be the sweetest little baby in town. Hush, little baby, don't you cry. Papa loves you and so do I. La 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 la. La la.